It's not like I set out to say, ooh, I want to grow up to be the world's biggest lady. I want to be 700 pounds. It just happened.
For the longest time, I really talked myself into I didn't have a weight problem. I was still walking. If I had a weight problem, I could not walk.
Melissa Morris is a 31-year-old woman from Texas who weighs 653 pounds at the beginning of her weight loss journey, and she knows that she is at risk of dying every single day because of her weight.
Her whole life, Melissa's been kind of heavy, and then she really gained some more. She said, I know, I'm fat. And I said, Melissa, it's not that. I said, it's hard for us to look at you and know that you can't live like this.
The last time I weighed myself, I weighed 337 pounds, and I thought to myself, that's not big, that's not bad at all. And then I went to a doctor, and when I stepped on the scales, and it said 645.
The worst part about all this is that Melissa's addiction to food has been a problem she has dealt with since her childhood, and at this point, she's pretty much in denial about it.
It's not a number you associate with a person. No person should ever be that number.
I worry about her getting sick. I worry about coming home and finding her dead because her body killed her. And I'm to the point where I'm ready to start a family and settle down. And with her being the size that she is, we can't do that. We met in 1997. That was a long time ago.
It's funny because I knew right then that I was going to marry him.
Truthfully, I have no idea what she weighed when I first met her. She wouldn't tell me. If I had to guess, I'd probably say close to 400 pounds.
Melissa's family is worried sick because they know she can't live for much longer if she continues to live this way, and her husband has no idea if he will ever be able to start a family with her.
What everybody takes for granted every day, I can't do. The hardest thing about being in public at my weight is you get lots of looks, and some are sympathetic, some are, oh, you dirty waste. Yeah. Think what you want in your head. Whisper to what you want with somebody who's with you, but to say it out loud is the worst. The only thing I want to do is just fall into a deep hole.
It seems like everything in Melissa's life has come to a standstill because of her weight, and she is extremely conscious of what people think of her when she is out in public.
It's awful to realize what I had done to myself. But it wasn't just me that it affected. I have to rely on Chris for everything. And if something should happen to Chris, I would have to go home to my parents. And that's not how it should be.
I don't care what anybody says. I was addicted. Once you get addicted, you can't stop.
But deep down, she knows that if she ever wants to live a normal life, she needs to lose weight. If not for herself, then for the people who love her and want her to get better.
We'd go into town, stop at wherever and get something to eat, and then come home and cook. Looking back on it now, it kind of makes me sick to think that I did that. It was a constant stream of food every day.
I had breakfast at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I started lunch, and I just ate all day long.
At that point, I became her enabler and her caretaker on the same term.
These may be my last French fries ever, but it's gonna be well worth it.
But all her worries seem to fade away as soon as she starts thinking about food. For Melissa, food is the one thing that gets her through it all. While she knows that it's slowly taking away her ability to lead the life she wants, she just can't bring herself to let go of the comfort that food brings her.
I was her biggest champion of having the surgery. I said, you got one foot in the grave now as it is. I think you're destined for great things. This is just the first step.
They tell you there's a chance of dying on the operating table. I figure I got two choices. I can either die on the operating table trying to get healthy, or I can die because I'm 645 pounds.
While Melissa has wanted to get better in the past, she just couldn't find a doctor who would take the risk of operating on her.
I'm nervous as heck. I've been pacing the floor and all that good stuff, but that's just to be expected. Yeah, could you hear me?
Yeah.
I think everybody can hear me.
Did you want me to get up and... Why you got a tear for?
But anyway,
Don't cry. I didn't sleep last night. I'm scared. I'm excited.
I thought this is going to be one more thing that I'm going to mess up. I was so scared, but I was ready.
So she knows that Dr. Now is her last and only hope. And once he is done performing the weight loss surgery on her, Melissa has a lot of progress to make.
Hey. Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm fine. This is my mom.
All right.
I'm ready.
You'll be happy a year from now.
Okay.
It's going to be really, really hard because this is her first surgery ever in her whole life of anything.
The waiting's the worst part.
No, waiting ain't the worst part.
I'm getting sick. Waking up's the worst part.
Waking up's the worst part.
It's a big challenge. These tables are not made for people who are super obese, so we have to put attachment to the table to make it comfortable for her to lay down.
Melissa is finally getting what she's wanted for the last year.
We're gonna hit the door.
I'm glad this is happening.
But is she willing to commit to it? While this is definitely a high-risk procedure, Dr. Now is more than confident that Melissa can walk out of this a brand new person.
I'm proud of her. She's doing well.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to her life changing and our life changing.
They explained that this surgery was high risk.
My biggest fear is that I die. But I'm hopeful because it's gonna be better. It has to be better. But I'm ready for a whole new one.
But that depends on how much effort she is willing to put in following the procedure.
Back then, these weight loss surgeries weren't really being done. The risk factors are high. It would be a risky procedure on someone my size. But I knew that 100% without it, I was gonna die.
As Dr. Now heads into the operating room, he knows there is a chance Melissa might not wake up from this.
Patients that are extremely overweight, they have a high risk during anesthesia. Any moment they can have cardiac or respiratory event that will terminate their life.
I'm upset, nervous, excited. We've jumped off the edge of the Grand Canyon and into uncharted territory. She's the person I want to be with, and I had no clue where we were going.
I'm better now that she's been back there a while, and I'm doing better. I'm doing a lot better.
But he knows that it's now or never for her, and she will not get another chance to turn her life around.
Hey, everybody is here. She did very good. It took a little longer to get started, but she did very good.
Can I go see her?
In about an hour.
About an hour.
Thank you so much.
Melissa, you are in the recovery room. Take a deep breath.
I'm glad she's all right, and I'm just ready to see her. I'm very anxious to see her.
How you doing?
My back is hurting so bad.
Back's hurting so bad.
Thankfully, the surgery goes well, but now is the time for Melissa to actually begin the hard work.
Melissa is 650 pounds, and her BMI is 113. That's one of the highest BMI we have done.
That recovery was tough. It was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I gotta sit down now. I have to. I've questioned myself. Had I known the pain, would I have made the same decision? Oh, that's as high as I can. I guess I just magically thought, oh, I'll be all right. I didn't realize it was gonna be this painful.
You're doing all right. You're hanging in there, and that's all that can be expected.
After Melissa is taken to recovery, Dr. Now weighs her and has a serious conversation about her eating habits, making it clear that she needs to let go of her addiction to food.
Hey, Melissa. How are you?
I couldn't eat. What I wanted didn't agree with my pouch. So a lot of stuff came back up.
Patient with a gastric bypass, they can eat about 2 or 4 ounces and they feel full. They also have satisfaction from the eating.
Well, first of all, this is definitely not a meal. After a few bites, like I'm just about had enough. It almost makes me sick to eat it.
But it looks like she underestimated the energy required to get back on her feet. And at this point, Melissa feels like she is defeated.
You ready to go home today?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just telling him how much I am ready to go home.
Your incisions look good.
I am tired, and I am stressed out, and I'm glad she is going home. It's just hard.
So you're saying I'm not worth it?
No, you're worth it. You're more than worth it. You're way more than worth it.
Target weight for Melissa will be under 200 pounds. Of course, she's going to need multiple skin surgery to take care of excess skin. I expect that she's going to lose 30 to 40 pounds every month for the next 6 months.
But she pushes herself as hard as she can because she has her entire support system rooting for her, and she can't let them down. She has already started to lose weight after the surgery, but now it's up to Melissa to keep the momentum going and working on her health so the surgery isn't a total waste.
When you're that size, all your hopes and dreams are if I could just lose this weight. But you can't even imagine how different it is The realization that you no longer need a caretaker.
Look, I can go up and down the steps with no hands.
It's like being free.
And I clean the house, put away groceries, and this is my protein drawer. Everything in my life is about protein. It's mozzarella cheese, 14 grams of protein. This is my best friend. This I love. I put this on my chicken.
2 months post-surgery, the change in Melissa is evident. She is able to move around with a lot more ease and loves spending time outdoors, all on her own.
See my chair? It's strange to be able to fit my whole body into the chair. I do things I haven't done in years. Before I had to wait till Chris got home. Now he complains sometimes. You don't always get the mail. I feel like I have something to live for. Come on in, Melissa. I'm afraid because I keep hearing you lose most of your weight within like the first 6 months, and that number's creeping really fast.
And while she has had her fair share of slip-ups, she has learned to ignore her cravings because getting better and losing weight feels so rewarding.
I told you. I told you. That's fine. You figured losing weight would make you happy. I wish it was more. I wish it was more. I guess I want too much too fast.
It's been a very interesting 3.5 months.
However, she is nervous about having to lose 30 pounds each month for the first 6 months after surgery, which means she needs to have lost 120 pounds at the 4-month mark.
I guess I want too much too fast.
It's been a very interesting 3.5 months. Even in myself, I've lost weight just from having to change the way I eat.
Hey, Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing great.
It'll be all right.
I had a whole list of things that I was so sure I wanted when I started the surgery, and how those things have changed. It's gone from wanting to put a seatbelt on in the car to owning my own car.
She's doing more for herself now. She's getting her life back.
Still hard for you to deal with though.
Sometimes.
And well, let's just say that she continues to lose more than what she is supposed to, but Melissa just wants to keep going.
That's true. I'd have to agree with that.
For so long, he never had to worry about what I was doing because he knew I was there. And now he sees me getting my life back, and he's afraid I'm gonna leave him.
And because she has stayed on track, Dr. Now thinks that Melissa will be ready for skin removal surgery in a few months, and she's over the moon at how far she has come.
After my surgery, food made me nauseous, but after the first 2 months, I wanted to eat.
First instinct when something goes wrong is to go to the refrigerator. Ooh, I need something sweet. This is my favorite room. And then I'll catch myself and I'll be like, okay, shut the refrigerator. It's gotta be something deeper. That's the worst thing, is the still having to fight. To have to open a refrigerator and fight with myself to reach for something that's good for me. That's mine, but that's a secret.
But the truth is that all this progress hasn't come without a lot of hard work, and Melissa still has to manage her cravings and fight her addiction to food.
My bag goes in front. And this has everything in it but the kitchen sink. Deodorant, and the most important thing as a fat woman, perfume spray. Because no matter how many times you take a bath, how much you wash, how much you try, you end up smelling. Surgery stuff was the easy part. The hard part is realizing where you went wrong. Things are tucked away in the back of your mind for a reason. There's a part of you that dislikes you. My weight was my shield. Just like my pillows and my purses are my shield.
Because she knows that she has a long way to go still, and she's not where she wants to be just yet.
6 months after my surgery, I decided to fly to my hometown for a family reunion, and I was terrified. For several years, I was too ashamed to go to any kind of family functions. Most people my weight shut themselves off for years. At that point, I had lost 200 pounds, so I was still 400 plus pounds. It's the first time I've been on the airplane in I don't know how long.
People look at me with such disgust in their face and eyes. It's just hard. I don't like to be in public. I've been hiding for 12 years of my life.
But as she continues getting better, Melissa keeps taking small steps she needs to bring her life back to normal, one of which includes flying solo to meet her family.
My family is so close-knit that they all live in one central area. And in '97, I moved away, so a lot of people haven't seen me. It's been a long while. I stopped going to all family functions. I stayed in one room, basically, I'm gonna have to face my fears. And one of my biggest fears is letting my family down. I'm afraid they're gonna see me and not appreciate where I've came from.
The whole thing is daunting for her, but at the same time, she is happy to be stepping out of her comfort zone and embracing her new life.
They're going to be thrilled.
It was wonderful to finally see my family again.
My nephew, bless his heart, he always says, Alyssa, are you skinny yet? He thinks that the surgery just made me skinny instantly. I cannot wait until Dad sees me. I think he'll be surprised. Don't cry, why are you crying?
How much you miss?
Surprise!
I have 12 nieces and nephews who I love dearly, but I've missed out on them. I didn't go to their sporting events. I didn't go to high school graduations because I was embarrassed.
I can tell she's lost a lot of weight.
I cried. They were like, Michelle, are you all right? I'm like, look at my sister.
Melissa's family is shocked and overjoyed seeing her progress because for a long time, they thought she was never going to get better.
I'm really nervous.
Very hard for me to let my aunts and uncles and cousins see me look the way I look, even after losing some of the weight from the weight loss surgery.
Last time I seen her, she couldn't walk. Now I'm just tickled to death to see you.
Now you think about me walk everywhere, huh?
Oh, you're coming into it, ain't you?
I'm trying real hard.
Yeah, that's the way. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Papa.
She looks great. Makes me feel good. Takes a lot of worries off my mind.
Melissa feels like she can actually spend time with her family now that her health allows it, and there's nothing more she could wish for.
But I'm still fat. See this? That absolutely grosses me out. I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror. It jiggles, like terribly, jiggles. And I can lift.
Melissa has now lost 210 pounds since the surgery, but she still isn't happy with her progress.
This is one of the things I can't wait for him to remove, but it's embarrassing at the same time to show you. It's just a fat pack of skin and fat. Isn't that disgusting? And it was bigger. On Friday, he's going to remove the fat pack and then some stomach skin. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Her excess skin is sagging and causing Melissa a lot of pain, and she can't wait for Dr. Now to perform the skin removal surgery on her.
Going into surgery, I was scared to death.
How are you today? It was easier last time.
I was crying hysterically.
I was really scared. I don't remember being this scared last time. What is that saying? No pain, no gain. In my case, no pain, no loss.
Dr. Nazardin asked me 3 times outside the operating room if I was sure that I wanted to go through with this.
But when the day's finally here, Melissa is a little nervous for some reason. A sense of dread overcomes her, and all of a sudden, she is not too sure whether she wants to go through with it.
Today, we're gonna take some excessive skin off of Melissa's thigh and abdomen to help her to be able to move around and walk better.
The root of my problems go to childhood.
Every single pound that was on my body was an emotion of something that happened. When I was younger, I was molested. For the longest time, I blamed myself instead of blaming the person who really did it.
But that's not a choice at this point. She has to do this if she wants to get better. But she's right to be scared, because this procedure, once again, is risky because of how much weight Melissa had put on over the years.
I was young enough, I think I was in 2nd, 3rd grade, that I don't think that I consciously thought, well, I'm gonna get fat and they won't do it. I've never had the guts to say anything to the 2 people who done it. But if I did, the first thing I would say to them is, you are a major part of why I am like I am today.
As she gets ready for surgery, Melissa keeps thinking about all the events in her childhood that led to this point, and she is just hoping that she makes it out of this to be able to lead a better life.
I never dealt with the hurt. It was just there. Oh gosh, I hurt.
Well, I think they said they started at 9:30, so 6 hours to get off 60 pounds, okay?
That's a lot of skin, dude.
Despite the high stakes, the surgery is a success and Melissa is soon wheeled into recovery. But now that she has gotten better in all aspects physically, she knows that it's time to pay attention to how her mind works and finally get over her addiction.
Do I look different?
Yeah, you do. I'm very proud of her. I'm glad that she decided to do it and didn't back out and had the courage to go through it. I'm very proud of her.
It's funny to be able to see my lap.
She looks good.
My legs look huge now. They weighed me this morning, and she's like, "You're 389 pounds." 389 pounds. It's been 10 years since I've been 389 pounds. It was just exciting to be under 400 pounds. Oh, it's so exciting.
I'm just doing that.
Dress looks different
She said
on
that
her.
dress definitely looks different on her now than when she came in here.
Yeah.
Once again, recovery proves to be a bit of a challenge for Melissa, but she is tougher than she was the first time around, and the fact that she has lost more weight after the skin removal has kept her spirits high.
It's nice to realize that there's a whole lot less of me. If I'd have opened my eyes and realized what I realize now, I'd never be in this situation.
I need a reason not to eat a piece of cake today. I need a reason not to eat a gallon of ice cream today.
Her husband is by her side through it all, and he's extremely proud of everything that Melissa has achieved in the last year.
Sometimes I look in a mirror and I don't know the face looking at me because I don't remember looking like this before. The last time that I had a pair of blue jeans on, it was April 1st, 1999. Oh my gosh, they fast. I got jeans on. I feel like I'm starting a whole new life. I'm getting a second chance.
And this time, she heads home with a lot more hope and the resolve to do things differently and to continue getting better for her own sake.
I told you.
You're doing great.
I've been telling you all week.
It's like I'm half the woman I used to be. I'm just half the person I used to be.
Soon enough, she's in Houston for another follow-up, and she can't believe her weight when she sees it on the scales.
I'm going to take my driver's test. The cool thing about me getting my driver's license is I'll never be home.
I guess I just want her to do good and get her driver's license back, so I don't have to do all the driving anymore.
I am very, 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 very happy. Is that all?
That's it? You're all done?
Thank you. Have a great day.
You sure you don't want to drive?
I'm positive. This is my chart. I started marking them out to the weights I was losing. That's where I'm at and where I want to be. But that helps me. Anytime I feel like snacking, I come in here and I look at it. This stomach area was 120 inches in circumference. And now it is, what is it?
I don't know, I can't move your finger a little bit. 48.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Melissa cries tears of happiness when she looks at the progress she has made. And to make sure she stays on track, she and Chris have moved to Houston to be closer to Dr. Now. And that has helped Melissa continue working on her weight loss and hitting milestones that she once thought she never would be able to reach.
I love life. I really feel it is a shame that I have to sleep because I felt like I wasted so much of my life. I had so much energy and I was ready for it. I was ready to get my life back.
Right back.
No, you're not allowed to check back like that. Freeze!
Bull. Y'all need I'm your mouth.
But
every time she checks her progress, Melissa is in awe of how much weight she has lost. It's almost like she can't believe her own hard work and determination.
I crave the weirdest things. Salt, saltine crackers, Chinese food. I know when I'm gonna eat them that I'm going to throw up. But sometimes, honestly, if I'm craving it bad enough, it's worth getting sick for.
Remember when you first walked in, you couldn't, I thought, oh my gosh, she's not gonna fit through the hall because you were so big. And look at you now.
But that doesn't mean she has dealt with all the challenges that come with having a food addiction. And sometimes she does give in to her cravings, but not enough to affect her progress.
Look at that. Yeah, my legs are awful.
Yeah, turn around more. I think priority will be to get rid of this. Melissa has a lot of weight to lose, so she's gonna have a lot of loose skin. You probably have 50 to 60 pounds of extra skin. She's gonna need a multiple surgery to remove those extra skin. By the time we finish your surgeries, you're gonna be like 280 pounds or less.
I just want to be done. I'm ready to be a mom. I'm ready to have a job.
And now she wants to move on to the next phase of her journey and get another skin removal surgery, this time on her legs.
I think honestly sometimes you miss the fat me.
And why do you say that?
9 times out of 10 when we eat out it's because you're hungry. But you don't discourage me when you see me doing things that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I know.
I think that you like knowing that I needed you.
But the doctor makes it clear that they can't rush these things at the risk of her developing a serious infection, and her husband agrees.
Chris and I have to rebuild a whole new relationship because our whole relationship was based on me being fat. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But even through everything that I've been through, even through everything Chris and I have been through, I am living the best years of my life. I knew 100% without this surgery, I was going to die. Everything that I couldn't do before, I do and more. I can move and breathe and not wake up every day hurting. That's what makes it worth it.
And while she gets into arguments with Chris over food every now and then, she knows that the two of them need to be each other's rocks through this. And she's ready to continue working on her health, her mindset, and her relationships no matter what.